Now, we're going to talk about everything in the background to it. We're going to follow every moment as it happens, if it happens. But let's first of all deal with what is the breaking news. And I'm delighted to be joined live here in the studio by astronomer Mark Thompson. We were rushing around out there over coffee and stuff. You're the expert. What do you think has gone wrong? They are simply saying it was originally scheduled to launch at 08:33 local time from the Kennedy Space Center. It can be pushed back as far as 10:33 local time, but after that it gets tricky. First of all, what do you think is likely to have gone wrong?
Well, what they've been doing at this stage is they've been filling the tanks and they've been getting the engines prepared for launch. And that means essentially flushing liquid hydrogen through the engines. Now, there's 4 engines as part of the Artemis rocket. And they've been trying to get the 3rd engine down to the right temperature, but they were struggling to get it down to the temperature. Now, they've identified a leak, which sounds terrible in the world of space exploration, but they've identified a leak that they thought could have been structural. It looks like it's not structural. There's a layer of foam in between the outer tank and the inner tank, and it looks like there's just a crack in there, which has caused some of the air from the atmosphere to seep in, cool down from the liquid hydrogen, and it's that they can see seeping.
OK, I'm going to ask the director, can we put up the pictures that we are getting from the live feed from Florida as we carry on this conversation? If we've got them, I think we have done somewhere. There's the quotation, which also helps you understand it. The second point, and I love the jargon of this, and that's why I love having you here, because it then explains it. There are other windows on the 2nd of September and the 5th of September, if, God forbid, we get to that point, but hopefully it'll go OK. But there's another lovely line here. These launch windows are largely driven by the rocket's flight termination system, the FTS, which has a battery certified for 20 days, beginning with the installation. I mean, $4 billion and a battery's life is something upon which it could all hinge.
There are so many different things that this could all hinge upon. And aborting is a massive part of space exploration. They've got to be able to abort systems, not so much for this launch because there's no humans on board, but it could still go horribly wrong. And it's really important, especially when we get people sat in the rocket, that we can abort it at the right time.
Absolutely. And there we have now that we've split the screen, which is lovely. This has got nothing to do with science or economics, but isn't that just a magnificent and beautiful picture? Have you actually ever had the opportunity to go there and watch a launch?
I have seen a launch, and a launch experience is second to none. Maybe a solar
Is it physical as much as anything?
It's so physical. You see the rocket launch first, and because of the distance between you and the rocket, after a while you then hear the rocket launch, and then you feel the launch, and that launch is the feeling, the whole body vibrates. It's just an incredible feeling. And then you hear this wonderful cacophony of sounds as all the car alarms are set off in the vicinity through the vibration. It's almost like the cars are cheering from the launch. It is the most incredible thing. It's visual, it's auditory, and it's even physical as well. And
one of the most popular clips on YouTube is still that poor soul who spent all that money and all that time and was pointing at the wrong rock. But this, again, we're looking at it now. This actual site with those pylons next to it, which thank God were there yesterday picking up lightning strikes and stuff like that, that is the one going back to the late 60s that put Apollo on its way to put Armstrong and others on the moon.
Yeah, so they're reusing most of the launch system on site.
Is that kind of historic and emotional, or is that because it's scientifically the best place to do it from?
It's cheaper. Ultimately, there's stuff there that still works, so there's no emotion attached to it. It's simply a system that works. Why would you change it?
All right, fine.